Alright, so now we're going to learn how to do something called synthetic division. And we're going to work let's look at number 3. No, I'm sorry, let's do number 7 with synthetic division. Okay, so we're dividing by x minus 2. So the first thing you want to do is take your denominator, what you're dividing by, and set it equal to 0 and solve for x. So in this case, x equals 2. Okay, so I'm going to take this number, this value, 2, and write it over to the left and put a half a box around it. Now this is just the setup of the problem. I'm just showing you how to set it up to work the problem right now. Okay, so out here to the side, I'm going to put all the coefficients in order, from descending order. So x to the third coefficient goes first, x squared coefficient goes second, x coefficient goes next, and then the constant goes last. Okay, so then you want to leave some space because you're going to be writing something underneath each of these numbers. Draw a line across the bottom, and then draw a line that is vertical right before your constant. So it goes right in between the linear term and the constant. Okay, so now you're ready to divide. Now you got to remember that your highest exponent is a 3 because that helps you whenever you're writing your answer. Alright, so the first step is to bring down your first coefficient, which is a 1, and you write that 1 underneath the line that you drew. Okay, now I'm going to take this 1 times the number in the box, 2, and write it underneath my next number. Okay, then we're going to add those two together, negative 2. Take negative 2 times positive 2, that's negative 4, write it underneath the third term, or the third number. Add those two together, that's going to be a positive 2. Take that number times the number in the box, 2 times 2, that's going to be 4. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Okay, so what you just got were all the coefficients of your quotient that you're dividing to get. So the way that you write your answer is, of course, since your highest exponent was a 3, when you write your answer you have to start with one exponent less. So it's going to be 1x squared minus 2x plus 2 with the remainder of 0, and this is your quotient. This is what you get when you divide x to the third minus 4x squared plus 6x minus 4 by x minus 2. So you get the same answer that you would get if you were doing long division. It's just a lot shorter and a little bit easier. Of course, you don't have to write that 1. I'm just trying to make a point that it's the coefficient for your squared term. Okay, and your remainder, this right here is the remainder. So there's not a remainder, so we're all good and happy. Okay, so write down any questions that you have, and we're going to do one more, actually. We're going to do number 9. Now, synthetic division, the only drawback that you have is when you're dividing with synthetic division, you can't have anything in the denominator besides to the first power. The highest exponent you can have in the denominator, the thing that you're dividing by, is a 1. That's the only drawback, really, to synthetic division. Okay, so let's look at number 9. Number 9 is going to be a different type of problem. There's a couple things that are going on with number 9 that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So let's look at this one. 8x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus x plus 4 divided by 2x plus 1. All right, first of all, what you're dividing by, the coefficient of the x is not a 1 on this one. So what I have to do is I have to get rid of that coefficient. When you divide synthetically, the denominator variable has to have a coefficient of a positive 1. So I've got to divide everything by 2. So that means I'm going to have 4x to the fourth minus 2x squared plus 1/2 x plus 2, and that's all over x plus 1/2. Okay, it's still going to work out just fine, but you're going to have a few fractions. Okay, so I'm going to take the denominator, x plus 1/2, set it equal to 0, solve for x, so x is negative 1/2. That is the number that I'm going to put inside the little half box over to the left. The other problem that I have here is looking at my exponents. I have 4, 2, 1, and then the constant. So I'm skipping the 3, right? I should have x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared, x, and then the constant. But it's not there. So what you have to do is you have to put a 0 to hold that place of your x to the third. If you don't put a 0 in for any exponent that's missing, then you're going to get really messed up on your division. Okay, so I have x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared, x, and the constant. Okay, so I'm going to draw my horizontal line, my vertical line, and now I'm ready to divide. So I'm going to bring down my first coefficient, 4. 4 times negative 1/2 is negative 2. Add the 0 plus negative 2. That's negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 1/2 is a positive 1. Okay, negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Multiply those together. That's going to be a positive 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. And then 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 1/2. So I'm going to have a remainder on this one. I'm going to have a remainder of, let's see, 3 over 2. It's going to be 1.5. Okay, so let's write the answer. I'm going to have 4x to the third, because I always want to start with 1 degree less than the original, minus 2x squared, minus x plus 1, and for the remainder, it's positive 3 over what you're dividing by. Now let me tell you just this little shortcut method. This denominator in your remainder is the same as the denominator that you divided by. So a shortcut would be to just only write the numerator and put it over the original divisor, 2x plus 1. And in class, we can talk about this some more, and I can go into more detail about why it works that way. But just for now, that's a shortcut. As long as the denominator of your remainder matches the denominator of what you divided by, you can just put the numerator over the original divisor. Okay, so you guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Make sure and write down any questions that you have. Let this kind of marinate a little bit. I know it's a lot, but we'll do a couple more examples tomorrow when I see you. And have a good night. Bye.